Yeah. We're missing a bell. In honor of you, Judge, I will come gavel. Welcome to the May 17th, 2024 meeting of the Rotary Club of Beavercreek. Thanks to Jim Rudd and Judge Capelli for greeting our guests today. Thanks to the menagerie of people who helped in the absence of our secretary and treasurer. So Beth Handworker, Beth Cusack, appreciate getting us started here today. Thanks to Pete Bales, Mark Weinstein, Mike Zwick for our great programs. Thanks to Jim Gundel for taking care of our website. And I'd ask Denny Jarvie to join us for the invocation.
Well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Please join me in prayer. Oh, Holy Creator, thank you for the bonds of Rotary between us and our worries left behind us, with our goals set before us, with no task beyond us, with a thirst for knowledge and a dream of a polio-free world. We are thankful for our Rotary friends and the meal we are about to share. Amen.
Amen. All right, so typically we have a secretary's report. Joe Jenkins is out at Rotary Park with Shannon working on the damaged restrooms. So we'll say everyone who's here is here today. About that, we got a couple of guests that they'll be introduced here in a moment. So Don Adams contacted me and is otherwise occupied. So we had a great opportunity to replace our Sergeant at Arms report with an introduction of a member of our community who has changed positions and taken the helm of the Wright State University Athletic Department. So Joylyn Brown, I had the great fortune of meeting her while I was an undergrad. Of course, I was like a 10th year senior. She was a freshman. And she was an all-conference volleyball player at Wright State. Then she had the opportunity to come back to the university as an assistant coach and then ultimately an all-conference head volleyball coach at Wright State. Then left for a period of time and came back as an administrator and has been named the interim athletic director. And I'd like her to introduce herself and join it.
Well, first, I'd like to thank all of you for having me today. It's pretty big shoes to fill, Mayor Adams. And I was told I need to have at least a couple bad jokes, but I'm prepared for you. But one thing that this is really kind of full circle because when I was an undergrad, obviously, David and I were in school at the same time. But one thing that he left out was he was my teaching assistant in my public speaking class. So if this goes horribly, if we can blame David because he did a great job. He did a great job. And he left out the fact, obviously, of Dr. Cusack. His father was the athletic director when I was a student athlete and also when I coached. So I've known him for a number of years and respect him very much. So it was really nice to keep this connection. So I'm sure all of you know Bob Grant. I think he's come out to speak with you before. And he's our former AD who just retired after a really, really great career. And we worked very closely together for the last 10 years. And I want to continue on what he is doing, which he's really put Wright State in a great spot in the athletics department. And we're really proud of what we have going on over there. So I'll share that with you in a little bit. But a little bit about myself. I did go to Wright State. I am a small town Ohio kid from Northwest Ohio. I am a first generation college student with my family, college grad with my family. I was the first student, male or female, to receive a Division I full scholarship in athletics at my high school. So that was kind of a nice thing. So now that just means I'm old because there's not a lot of sense to me. But what I loved about Wright State, even when I was 18 years old and looking at Wright State, I loved the fact that it was modern. I found it to be a very vibrant place. Growing. I had visited some other campuses that were a little bit more traditional, a little bit older, and it just didn't give me that same feeling of excitement because I felt like Wright State was ready to look at how we could make things better and how we could grow. And that was exciting to me. And when I got here, I really found that that is what it was like. And now so many years later, I see we're at that spot again. I'm proud to be an alum of Wright State. I think we bring a lot to the community. I think that where we are located is perfect because we're, right outside, basically Beavercreek and Fairborn, we're kind of right in the middle of it. And I think we have the support of both communities. And we're really, really thankful for that. So anything that I can do, anybody on my team can do to help join us together to collaborate on things, we want to do that. So that was coming here today was really important to me because of that one fact that we definitely want to get out in the community more and really highlight what we have at Wright State, which right now we have 240 vibrant, energetic, smart student athletes. And they are our biggest selling point. So if you ever get a chance to see them, if you're anywhere where they are, talk to them for a few minutes. I think that you'd be really impressed. We hear a lot today about, oh, young people today, but I'm telling you, the young people that we're around every day bring us energy, and it's just exciting to be with them. So this year, I just want to review how our year went. The most important thing that we did this past spring, graduation was a couple weeks ago. We had 42 people graduate from athletics. We have for several years now, our GPA department-wide has been above a 3.0, which is pretty rare to be able to say, I think, for most athletics departments. So our student athletes are students first, which we really, really like. Our volleyball program this year, they went to the NCAA tournament again. They've been at the NCAA tournament for the last 5 years. So for a Division I program, there are so many Division I programs who have never gone, and they went for the last 5 years. So we were really proud of them and the product that they were putting out, how they represent us. Our golf team just finished competing in San Diego this past weekend. They also qualified to go to the NCAA tournament by winning the Horizon League. So we're proud of them. We say when our student athletes travel to places like San Diego, or volleyball has been all over the country, a lot of those places have never heard of Wright State and may not be as familiar with our community. So we always tell our student athletes they are representing us, and it's like a snapshot of our university. So if you think about it, if you go into a restaurant and there's a sports team there and they're foul mouthed and just kind of not really paying attention and not really aware of their surroundings, just kind of doing their own thing, and you see a name on their warm up that says Wright State, you would think, boy, all those students at Wright State, kind of a bunch of idiots, didn't really represent well. You've only seen one small group, right? But they kind of give you your opinion of Wright State because that's the first that you've heard of Wright State. So we're going to talk with our student athletes about the fact that be that shining light for Wright State and for Dayton, Ohio. So people go, wow, I saw a group of athletes, I think it might have been their bowling team at a restaurant. They were so polite and pleasant and just really, really a great group of young people. What a great representative of Wright State. So that's what we're going for. And we take that responsibility really seriously because we know there are a lot of negatives about college athletics at times. And right now we're kind of in an upside down world with all of the changes. But the one constant that we want to have, we want our athletes, student athletes, to represent us in a positive way. So we choose to surround ourselves with people who we believe in and people who we think we can trust. And that goes all the way down to the freshmen that we're bringing in and when we're recruiting. So we understand the importance of our student athletes' value and what they can bring to the community in which they live. And we want to focus on that even more in the future. So a couple other things that are going on with Wright State. We have a young woman named Sierra Lively won the Horizon League high jump championship this past weekend. And I think that's our first ever high jump championship. And she's fantastic. She's young. I believe she's a sophomore. I'm looking at Alex, my partner. Alex Briggs is my partner in crime back there. He keeps me in line. So he works within our department and does a great job. So he's helping me get out in the community more. So he's my fact checker, but he doesn't know either. So Sierra, super proud of her. She just finished up. That's her other spring sport. And then we also have our baseball team. They are one game away from clinching the regular season Horizon League title. And if they do that, we would host the Horizon League championships next weekend. Last year they won the Horizon League championships. I mean, that program has won quite a bit over the last number of years. So if you ever get a chance to come out, it really is a fun atmosphere. So hopefully we'll be hosting next weekend. We played Northern Kentucky this weekend. We lost the first in the series last night, so we have 2 games left. I prefer we win both. We only need to win one to clinch that title. So we're excited for the opportunity there. Obviously, I'm sure that you know, we have just hired a new men's basketball coach. So the first day, the first assignment that I had on my first day of the job was figuring out what we are gonna do with the basketball coach, because our basketball coach left us. So no big deal, not a whole lot going on. So Coach Nagy had been with us for a number of years, been very successful, and he had an opportunity at Illinois State that he decided to take. It was right for him and for his family, and, we left on good terms, and we support that. And, we knew that we were in good hands because we had Clint Sargent as his assistant for a number of years. And we've gotten to know him very, very well. So Clint, even though he's been part of the staff, he brings a new energy to the group. The student athletes are thrilled to have him. They are just trying to wrap up recruiting right now. They maintain quite a few from the roster, more than most have in this transfer portal, name, image, likeness time that we're living in. So we maintain quite a bit. We're bringing in new recruits as well, and we're really excited to present that to the community along with our basketball program. So they are led by Carrie Hoffman, who was a coach at Cedarville, and she's a very strong leader. And they're kind of coming back. They had a great year this past year, so we expect a lot of them the coming year. So I understand I don't get the whole hour, but I also understand it's kind of like a tryout for the whole hour. So maybe tell some people if you liked it. If you didn't like it, keep it to yourself. So, but I just want to say thanks again for having me out here. I really like getting out and really showing off what our student athletes are doing. I mean, we're right in this community, and sometimes I think people don't see all that we are doing because it's not something that we're going to brag out about every day that, Megan got an A in her chemistry class again. But when I get a chance to come out and tell you about it, I want to do that. So thank you for having me. David, I really appreciate you thanking me, and enjoy your lunch.
Thanks, Joanne. And she has to get to a meeting with, or an online meeting with the director of the NCAA here. So she may leave a little early, but she'll be back on our calendar as a full speaker and ready to ask her questions. Happy Bucks. Who's got a Happy Buck? Actually, the Happy Bucks are free because nobody wants to carry that box around. So I think they got happy news. We'll go with that.
So my youngest daughter comes into town tonight from Denver, so it'll be nice to have all the family together.
Remember, they're free. He's got some happy news for us. JD.
Graduation is tomorrow night. We've got 3 seniors that I know of within Rotary clubs. Jack Bales, Isaac Graham, and Jacob Buston are all graduating with the technical dollars.
All right. Congratulations. Elizabeth.
And I'll put money in this because this deserves to get acknowledged in that way. Some of you may already be aware, Beavercreek Township has trustees voted to rename the Beavercreek Community Library. And we are having a rededication ceremony on Friday, June 21st at 4 p.m. And it is being renamed the Carol Graff Beavercreek Community Library. As those of you know, Carol has been instrumental in the public library for 40 plus years. And it was a complete surprise to her when they renamed it. If you're interested, I can send you a link. But the trustees thrilled her. She had no idea what was happening. But we're really honored that we're going to be able to rename it in her honor. And so if you can join us, we would love to have you.
Nice. All right. Jonathan.
We have been planning for a while, and we tore down one of our branches in Springboro, Ohio, and rebuilt it, and just had it open this past week. Technology is great when it works, and so far we've had very limited technology issues. So very, very happy to open that one up. We're tearing down our Middletown branch as well. Rebuilding that should be done in the first half of 2025. So some exciting things happening, River Valley Cricket. So
Awesome. Any other happy news? Elaine.
All right. Bees are coming, bees are coming to the Emerge campus thanks to a partnership with Central State. So we're really excited to have beehives on campus. I didn't have that in my presentation, so that's my happy news.
Sunday, if nobody has anything to do, we have a market for makers over at St. Leonard's in Centerville, and it's gonna be really cool. We've got a lot of food trucks and vendors and boutiques, so
Right. Anything else? Any announcements? All right. Ticket drawing for a chance to split the pot with the club, and the club's money goes towards our Christmas basket project. We'd be looking for Queen of Hearts if you have ticket number 1175218. It's a man. All right. So I will say, Flags for Heroes, I have some announcements, not to.
Yeah, I'm not sure we have a card.
All right. Why have a deck of cards? I don't think we did that the cards. It's very fun. So you're gonna have to have you draw before the next meeting. All right. Good luck. So now the cards that, yeah, we're missing everything. We got no bell. So for the record, Amanda Hayes, before we do that next week, she gets to choose. All right. So one announcement, Flags for Heroes. At the celebration of the Memorial Day, Flags for Heroes events, we will have a flag installation on the 22nd, which is Wednesday at 4 o'clock. So those who can participate in installing the flags, we encourage you to take part in that. They'll be removed on the 29th, the following Wednesday. We will have, so we've had ceremonies at each of the installations in the past, and we're going to start a practice of just doing it at the Memorial Day, which is this one. So is that so the ceremony for that will be Saturday, May 25th at 5 p.m. And so we'd like to have a decent crowd. We have what are we playing? Flute? We have flute, flautist. Okay. And then we'll have a keynote speaker to be announced. So please keep that in mind. It's a short ceremony and nice. Any other announcements? Okay. I would invite Mike Zwick to come up to introduce our speaker.
Yeah, so I'm just not having to mistake out. That's it, 4 o'clock, I'm going. Why have to say here? Thank you. Was driving over.
And just a side note on what JD had to say, those 3 graduating junior Rotarians were also anointed Eagle Scouts a couple of years ago, all 3. Pretty impressive. Elaine Bonner is our speaker today. I met her several months ago. We invited her to come out to do a fundraiser at the Mayor's First Thursday at the Holiday Inn, and we raised a little bit of money. And from that, she invited the folks from the Holiday Inn and the mayor and I out for a tour, and we were quite impressed. Just a wonderful place. I'm going to give you a little bit of background on Elaine, and she'll tell you the Emerge story.
Sounds good.
She is the director of philanthropy, leads the outreach to attract community investments. She also directs marketing, social media, communications, special events, and anything else they can think of. Elaine started her journey at Emerge in January of 2022. With nearly 35 years as a team player in this world of philanthropy, she valued her time working with, and this is quite a list, pregnant and parenting teens, emerging artists, nature-based preschoolers, urban high school students, and now individuals looking to rebuild their lives. Elaine has a BS in management from Purdue. One of Elaine's favorite quotes is a lyric from the Servant Song. We are pilgrims on a journey. We are travelers on the road. We're here to help each other walk the mile and bear the load.
Thank you.
Well, I'm not gonna cry before I even start. That was sweet. Thank you, Michael. And the event that he mentioned, we raised $1,200 for mattresses as we are expanding our services at Emerge. So that was a great event. So thank you for having me back here again. I was here about a year ago before we really had programming at Emerge. So in case there's people here that haven't heard about Emerge, and that's on me because I'm the marketing person, we combine substance use treatment, recovery supports, opportunities to explore faith, and connections to employment to lead people through their journey of recovery. So we're very innovative, and I hope that my updates today will bring, I guess, just a little ray of sunshine to this dreary day. So I'm gonna see if I can upgrade this.
Should be the down button. I think you're holding it upside down.
I might need technical support here. Is it turned on?
There we go.
I can do that. Okay, so I want to start off by asking if anyone in the room recognizes this man. Oh gosh, you guys are great. Well, his name is actually Jason Ford, but he's also known as Jelly Roll. He's an American rapper, singer, songwriter from Nashville. He also used to be a drug dealer. Now he wants to bring solutions and attention to the drug epidemic. Earlier this year, he actually testified before Congress about the fentanyl crisis, stating that 190 overdose deaths happen each day. This is the same number as if a 737 plane crash happened every day. So do you think there would be national media attention if this plane crash happened every day? Yeah, absolutely. But because it is drug addicts, or as I like to correct them, people with the disease, there is not the same outrage. This is what the Emerge team is trying to combat each and every day, helping people break free of addictions and rebuild their lives. So first of all, our team at Emerge says thank you. There are many people in this room who have made the forward progress of Emerge possible. As you can see, we have gained attention from people as Congressman Turner, Jim Trussell, civic groups, faith communities, in addition to people like Dave Yost, Senator Vance, and many referral partners along the way. It has been a year of growing partnerships. More than 70 community organizations now support the work of Emerge. And I wanted to address the Right State Coach partnership that we are building as we speak. When you spoke about the golf team, so I believe his name is Connor, the golf coach. He was at an Emerge last week, and he is proposing a golf clinic for the men that we serve. So to kind of overcome the social equity in golf, that really golf could be for anyone. Think of all the skills that you build on the golf course and the connections. So this is going to be happening on our campus. So thank you to Wright State. He wants to get his golf players involved in community service, like you said. So it's a beautiful partnership. So I'm glad you're here to hear about that. So many of you might have been on site for our major ribbon cutting, which is just last June. And let me show you what has been created because of this. So this is our men's recovery housing space. It was a $1.85 million renovation, and the doors opened to this space last June. This is for men in recovery, open to anyone over 18 and for any county of Ohio. So this has the quiet reading spaces. It has a fully equipped kitchen, and you can see our partnerships here with the food bank and Miami Valley Meals, who support a portion of the food for the men living here. We have sleeping quarters. These are now fully bunked to accommodate the need of getting us to our capacity of 50. These beds were donated by Cedarville University as they upgraded their dorms. We also have outdoor recreation space, outdoor pavilion, grills, pickleball, basketball, and hopefully our golf clinic will be a regular thing that happens. This is thanks to our partnership with the Christian Life Center. So Emerge has a regional impact, and this is just in a year's time. We have served nearly 300 people from 16 counties of Ohio. The top two being Greene County is 50% of the people we serve, and Montgomery second at 27%. So both men and women have been supported through our outpatient program. Just last month, we launched a walk-in clinic. What this does is that it allows people who are ready to start their journey to start the day they're ready. They don't have to make an appointment. So the walk-in clinic hours are Monday through Friday from 9 to 12. And this avoids those wait times. When someone's ready to change their life, we want to be there for that. Emerge has also supported those who did not fall within our billable services model, including some individuals over 64, the underinsured, and others who did not have qualifying insurance providers. That came to over $200,000. So 179 men have entered our men's recovery housing program. They have opportunities for 3 levels of treatment and linkages to both 12-step and faith-based recovery programs. The majority of the men we serve are actually in the 31 to 55 age range. It seems like a lot of people that are 18 don't think they have a problem, the 18 to 31-year-olds. So unfortunately, they go through sometimes a decade of their life suffering with substance use disorders till they hit that rock bottom, and then that's why 35 to 55 is our average ages. So our team has provided over 6,000 service interactions. So this includes assessments, case management, counseling, and peer support services. We celebrate milestones on a regular basis, and we're thrilled that our current housing group has collectively achieved over 4,000 days of sobriety. So this is really an interesting part to the Emerge story. On our site is a for-profit trade school on our location. It's called the Trades Institute. 9 participants currently enrolled in the Emerge programs are attending this Trades Institute, and this is going to connect them to great jobs in the skilled trades. So the first cohort had their graduation. I know it's small, it was 3, but this just became a school last September. So the 3 graduates got certification in HVAC, and I think you might recognize in the corner there, Kit Morris is one of our founders. He gave the commencement address. It was very interesting. He is the owner of 5 Star Home Services. So 2 of the men, as I said, are part of the Emerge program. 1 has already been matched to an employer and 1 is in the interview process. So the 3 certification programs currently underway at the Trades Institute are HVAC, plumbing, and manufacturing. So we look at Emerge as being part of the solution to the workforce issues that our country is facing and our region. If we can take men who normally don't get considered because of their background, something in their past, or because they're in recovery, and train them, we can help form these and fill these workforce needs. So another initial outcome of our first year is 37% of our men at discharge have been linked to employment. We are also excited, again, another shout out to Wright State. We are partnering with them for our outcome measurements. So they have a program called the SARDI program, which stands for Substance Abuse Resources and Disability Issues. This is through the Boonshaw School of Medicine. They have over 30 years of training and data collection and reporting. They administer over $9 million in grants and data for 30,000 participants in 8 research projects. And now Emerge will be part of this model. So here's just some initial things. This is from pre and post tests from our men. You can see that there's a great increase in their physical and mental health, their recovery supports, which is so important because once they leave Emerge, these recovery supports are people that they have numbers in their phone and they can reach out to when they feel like maybe I'm falling back into use. And then their spiritual health. Emerge offers, like I said, both the faith-based and the 12 steps. And it's important that we have that for people because faith is really something that's going to help them in the long run. And so we're proud to be a faith-based organization that we can welcome people who want that, or we can help people that really don't want to do the faith-based approach, but they're going to be around people that are believers, that people respect them and treat them with dignity. So we have had phenomenal growth over the first year. As Michael said, I joined the team in 2022. There was 4 to 8 employees at that time. So our staff has grown in the past year. We welcomed our CEO, Rachel Huffman. Rachel is a Wright State graduate. So can you see a theme happening today here? Rachel has really found her calling in this field. She has lived experiences. Rachel is in long-term recovery herself. And she is a wonderful servant leader. She leads with her faith first. She's got more than 10 years of experience in the behavioral health field, serving youth, adults, and families in outpatient services from the county jails as well. She's oversaw crisis services, and in her last role, she worked in health administration for over 3 counties, Clark, Clinton, and Madison, where she helped plan and fund treatment and prevention and supportive services. So we are thrilled and blessed to have Rachel leading our team of 40. So because of our being at capacity at our main campus, the founder sees an opportunity, and this is why we are blessed to have the entrepreneurial spirit at Emerge with these founders. They purchased a former Antioch dorm, which has the requirements for recovery housing. So on May 9th, 31 men transitioned from our main campus to what we're calling Emerge Springs. I came up with that name, I think it's kind of cute. And it is in Yellow Springs. So our main campus is going to change to residential treatment housing, still serving men who are earlier in their recovery journey. So this is going to increase our capacity from serving 50 men to 90, which is really exciting. So look at this space on our campus. This was a former greenhouse was here when it was the Greene County Career Center. So thanks to our friends again at the Christian Life Center, we're going to be able to construct a 2-bay hydroponic greenhouse. This is going to allow our residents to cultivate fresh produce as part of their healthy lifestyle. And there's so much research about microgreens and nutrients for people going through recovery. And so now we're going to be able to cultivate this on our grounds. So I have to be sharing a really proud moment for me because as an event coordinator as well, and I have one of our event volunteers, Bridget, with me today. This is a main portion of our time invested, my time invested is creating this event. So our community came out in a big way to support this annual event. We had Doug and Beth Mann as our honorary chairs. And if you don't know about Beth Mann, you need to Google her. She runs an organization called FLOC, FLOC, For the Love of Children. It's a 100% volunteer organization that helps foster youth with over 30 programs now. So we raised nearly $290,000 at this event. So for year 3, we are going to host our event in Xenia at Emerge, and we are honored that Jim Trussell, former Ohio State football coach and president emeritus of Youngstown State, will be our honorary chair. We hope you will save the date. So there are so many stories of hope, of lives being transformed at Emerge. But due to my limited time, I don't have the whole hour, I'm going to share just one. So as a single father at age 14, this young man was not prepared for the responsibilities of parenthood and spent much of his time doing drugs and drinking with friends. For the next 7 years, he was using heroin and fentanyl on a daily basis, and he lost custody of his son. He got to the point where the manipulation and lying was so bad that he couldn't stop. He shared that he spent $120,000 a year on drugs. He heard about Emerge through the Montgomery County Public Defender's Office. And after going through many rehab programs and finally coming to the realization that this was actually a life and death situation, the team at Emerge has helped him gain clarity about his disease and how to handle it moving forward. He has been sober for 8 months. And now he's building a solid, healthy relationship with his son. He spends time with him regularly. He also plans to serve in the military. by joining the Air Force. He says that for the first time in his life, he feels his future is bright. So I just want to say thank you again for giving me the time to present on behalf of Emerge. It is really through our community that we are going to be able to continue to serve people that desperately need our help. We know that one day we'll be able to serve all 88 counties of Ohio. And we know that Ohio, and specifically Greene County, can be a model for our country on how to build the workforce from those who desperately need a second chance. Again, thank you for being here, and I'm open to any questions you might have. Yes.
Elaine, tell us a little bit about how the women's shelter part of it's coming along.
So right now, we do serve women on an outpatient basis. So serving women, we know, is very important to us. It's in our mission. It is a $2+ million operation. And we are working through it in our strategic plan, but knowing that the men's area is just coming upon its first year, we want to make sure that's sustainable, running as it should. And we're getting there. We have a billable services model. So 60% of our funding comes from billable services, but that doesn't cover all of it. And that's why our community investment, these events that we have, and getting the general public involved. The founders, they have put over $2 million into Emerge, and that's not a consistent revenue for them to keep doing. They were about 30% of our revenue, and that's not sustainable for them. So we actually got some funding for a development consultant because Elaine is a team of one right now. And so I am looking forward to working hand in hand with someone to develop a major giving campaign, and that's what it's going to take. We're not going to see the day where we get $1 million check like we did with the ARPA funds. And we don't want to have ARPA happen again because we don't want COVID. So we want to find a strategic way. But thank you for asking that question. And it's definitely on our radar to work through that timeline. Any other questions? Yes.
Two things. One, can you tell folks who may not know?
Yes.
The founders?
Yes, sure.
To success in the same way.
Yes.
The trade.
Yes, thank you. So we have 3 founders, Kenneth Morris with 5 Star Home Services. And when I'm saying their businesses, I want you to pay special attention to the name of their businesses. So Kip Morris, 5 Star Home Services. Chris Adams' company merged with 5 Star Home Services. He was with Narrow Path Plumbing. So now 5 Star does HVAC, plumbing, and electrical as one call. Doug Van Dyke with Van Martin Roofing. The 3 of them came together in March 2021 when the Greene County Career Center went up for auction. There was no plan except God led them through their faith to do this. They have been second chance employers for 10 years in their own companies. They are in long-term recovery. They knew that someone in their gave them a second chance, and now they are paying it forward in a really, really big way. Like I said, with investing $2 million. So for example, 5 Star Home Services has around 200 employees in Columbus, Cincinnati, and Dayton. Their employees give back to Emerge through payroll deduction. It's $30,000 a year, and 5 Star matches that. So that alone, for people giving $5, $1, $10 out of their pay, creates a $60,000 gift to Emerge. So every time you think about the needs for your own home, and you need an HVAC, you need a furnace, if you think of 5 Star Home Services, you're actually helping pour money into Emerge. Did I answer that correctly?
I have one other question.
Yeah.
It's not only people who are in recovery, right? There's the foster.
So our mission is to empower people seeking recovery and former foster youth to rebuild their lives through vocational and transformational pathways. As Brian was mentioning, we have so much space in our building. It's 240,000 square feet. So we also have designated a space for housing for former foster youth. That project is about $4 million. So that they are near and dear to our heart because people in foster care are 45% more likely to have a substance use disorder. They have trauma for the reason they're in foster care. And many of them end up homeless when they leave foster care at age 18 or emancipate. So we have grant proposals, we have things underway, but for the housing portion of it, it's going to be another capital campaign to transform that space. It honestly would be easier to build something new than to do what we're doing, but we don't do anything the easy way.
Right.
Yes.
And entities that use your space on campus slash part-time, so.
Yeah. It's definitely a mixed-use space. Yeah, thank you for that question. We want the Emerge campus to be open to the public. So we're at 2960 West Enid Road. It's a little bit of a drive out into the country, but it's really, we're 5 minutes from Yellow Springs, 10 minutes from Xenia, Beavercreek's close by, Fairborn. Everything's within a 15-minute drive. So please come out to the Arise Cafe. It's open 7 days a week for breakfast or lunch. We're now having like Bible study groups there, women's groups, guys are meeting there. Like there's space for, a group of 12 to easily meet there. They also do catering. So that's one of the amenities. We have a whole for-profit business corridor. So we have about 6 businesses that rent space at Emerge. So we have 5-Star Home Services. We have the Digital Watchmen who started in Xenia in their garage that are now part of the Emerge ecosystem. Van Martin Roofing moved in. So all of our founders' companies are represented. We have SB3 Fire Suppression, another company on our campus. They're all second chance employers, and they all will help us find jobs for those that we serve. And we're also building partnerships in the community. If you guys know the Pit Stop, that's one of the companies of our founders as well. So we look to enter into automotive certifications down the road as another option, because we know we want to have a variety of options for the people we serve. It's like, hey, you have to be a plumber. Well, not everyone might want to be a plumber. So we want to have a host of other certifications. And the Trades Institute is also looking into things like cybersecurity as having tracks for that, so they can help fill jobs at the base as well. But yeah, thank you for that question. Yes, Michael.
Can you talk a little bit about your partnership with the church that's inside of Saturday?
Yes, Faith Ignited is renting space at Emerge in the former cafeteria space. So they have services on Sunday and Wednesday. We have what's called a Celebrate Recovery meeting on Thursday, and that's the faith-based curriculum for those in recovery. Many of the men are going to that now and part of that community, which is so beautiful. And then for those who are curious, they can attend it, they can see if they like it, and if they say that's not for me, we have the 12 steps. But we are introducing people to faith, and the progress that I have seen for people that have adopted the faith, God is changing their lives, and we're allowed to say that, which is great. So, yeah, did I cover your question? Okay, yeah, Faith Ignited. Yeah, any other questions? I think the best thing, if you're interested in more, is to come out for a tour, because none of these pictures can properly depict the size and the scope and what we're trying to do. And honestly, what 3 ordinary men were led to do because of their faith. They're not relying on someone else to solve the problem. They have been solving the problem by hiring people that have these issues, but they haven't been able to combine the treatment and the support. And that's what Emerge does. And so thank you again for your time, and thank you for listening. And thank you for all the ways you all serve our community.
Thank you so much. I don't know about you guys, but when the Career Center got ready to move, I saw that being an eyesore in the community for a long time, and it's nice that it's a source of benefit to the community. As has become our custom, we will donate a book to the Greene County Community Library on behalf of our speaker. This is aptly The Seed of Compassion. Please sign it for us. Couple just quick reviews. So we are doing a pancake event for the Creek Classic. We're in the process of getting those arrangements done. Thank you, Dave, for helping us on that. It's June 1st and 2nd in the morning, and if you haven't signed up, let us know and we'll get you signed up. Okay, and then just once again on the Flag for Heroes, Wednesday, the 22nd at 4, installing. The 25th is our ceremony out there, and then the 29th is flag removal. So if you have any questions, ask Jim Rudd, and let's get a good crowd out there for at least the ceremony on the 25th for sure. Any other announcements or anything for the good of the club? Okay, we'll rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Keep an eye on our outlets, beavercreekrotary.com and Facebook for upcoming events. Next week's speaker is our own Brian Lampton. And Jonathan Hebrank and Mark Weinstein are our greeters. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Gentlemen, here. You're one of them. I didn't know. No, no, they didn't.